July 30, 1975. Detroit, Michigan. The parking lot of the Matches Red Fox restaurant. James Riddle Hoffa. He was one of the most powerful, notorious men in America. The former head of the Teamsters Union. Hoffa was waiting. He was scheduled to meet with two men, Anthony Tony Provenzano, a high-ranking New Jersey mob boss, and Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone, a Detroit mob figure. A car pulls up. Hoffa gets in. The car drives away. It was the last time Jimmy Hoffa was ever seen alive. He wasn't kidnapped for ransom. He was simply erased. Tonight, we unseal the file on the biggest unsolved missing persons case in American history. Hoffa's power was built on steel and muscle. He took the Teamsters from a small union to the largest, most powerful labor organization in the United States. His control over the nation's transportation network gave him immense power. He controlled the roads. He controlled the economy. But power attracts enemies. His biggest enemy was Robert F. Kennedy. As Attorney General, RFC led a ruthless campaign to take down Hoffa. The focus was the Mafia. Hoffa used Teamster pension funds as a piggy bank for the mob. He was eventually convicted of jury tampering and fraud. But prison didn't break him. In 1971, President Richard Nixon controversially commuted Hoffa's sentence. There was one condition: Hoffa could not participate in union activities until 1980. Hoffa ignored the ban. He wanted his union back, and that put him on a collision course with the very mob leaders who had secured his release. The date of his disappearance, July 30, 1975. The place, the Matches Red Fox. Hoffa was there to clear the air. He was feuding fiercely with Tony Provenzano, a powerful mafia boss and Teamster vice president. He also wanted to meet Tony Jack Giacalone, the Detroit mob's primary power broker. Hoffa needed their support to reclaim his union presidency, but the two mob leaders never arrived. Hoffa made a desperate call to his wife. "I'm being stood up." The FBI believes a sedan pulled up, driven by Charles O'Brien, Hoffa's foster son, or another associate. Hoffa, trusting the familiar face, got in. That was the last confirmed sighting. The people he was supposed to meet had a perfect alibi. They were never near the restaurant. The biggest manhunt in history began. A manhunt not for a person, but for a body. Where did the mob hide Jimmy Hoffa? Theory 1. The Meadowlands. The most famous rumor, that Hoffa's body was dumped in the concrete foundation of the old Giant Stadium in New Jersey. The stadium has since been demolished, but the body was never found there. Theory 2. The incinerator, that he was taken to a local sanitation plant, placed in a barrel and incinerated. His ashes scattered. Theory 3. The barrel in the swamp, that he was placed in a barrel and dumped into the New Jersey Pine Barrens or into a landfill in Detroit. The search for these barrels continues to this day. The most sensational claim came from Frank, the Irishman, Sheeran. Sheeran, a hitman with deep ties to the mob, claimed on his deathbed, "I killed Jimmy Hoffa." He claimed he drove Hoffa to a house in Detroit, shot him twice in the back of the head in the basement, and his body was disposed of in a local crematorium. The house was investigated, but the evidence was inconclusive. The FBI officially closed the Hoffa case in 2013, but promised to continue following any credible leads. The mystery still consumes Detroit. The most likely truth is brutal and simple. Hoffa was perceived as a threat to the massive, multi-million-dollar flow of pension funds the mob was skimming. He was murdered to prevent him from regaining control of the union. The disappearance was a powerful message. A message to every union boss, every politician, and every rival: when the mob decides you are gone forever. The file on the ultimate cold case of organized crime remains unsealed. We post new investigations every single day. Subscribe to Unsealed. The dark files are waiting.